Hello there, it's your pals from Beyond the Bench barging in to tell you about the newest creation from our sponsor, Knack bags. If you're looking for a stylish new bag to accompany you for every trip to the beach, water park, mountain climb, or DMV visit, the Knack Sling Bag is the one you need.
Just like its bigger siblings, the Knack Sling Bag is built tough, impossibly stylish, and endlessly expandable for all your storage needs, but a third the weight and half the price. It's also available in 3 different colors, so you can look your best without getting sand in unpleasant places.
Just follow the link in the description to get yours today with free shipping on every order.
If you get your Knack Sling Bag, don't forget to post a picture of it on social media and tag us at Beyond the Bench 1 so we can see the amazing things you do with it.
Thank you to our friends at Knack Bags for sponsoring this episode. This is Beyond the Bench with Nick Morgasen and Nick Fodera. A look at sports and pop culture from beyond common sense. The show that constantly goes off the rails and might never get back on. When you don't belong, you're a bench warmer. On this show, there's no riding the bench. This is Beyond the Bench on the Empty the Bench Podcast Network. Welcome, everybody, to a new episode of Beyond the Bench on the Empty the Bench Podcast Network, episode 36. Along with Nick Fodera, I'm Nick Morgasen. We'll introduce the person on the screen, on the bottom of the screen in a second. Follow us on social media at Beyond the Bench 1 across all social media platforms. Presented by Knack Bags as well. Make sure you go check out the new Knack Sling Bag. And Nick, you get free shipping. It's a great product. I mean, we don't have anything physically to show you, but
Yet, but we will.
Just imagine like it's in my hand right now, and you have a really good
Just
product.
imagine that we're mimes just without the face makeup.
Yeah, basically. All right, Nick, we have a lot to get into, but first, I see we have a third person today.
Yeah.
So you want to introduce that third person?
So you know what, we've talked a lot about our wonderful interns over the past couple of weeks, and we decided, you know what, I think it's time to introduce you to our wonderful intern, Sarah Luster.
Sarah, hi. We want to get you involved because we talked about that you're going to be doing a new show eventually, and what better chance than to come on one of our shows at the top and get your feet wet. So
Being voluntarily thrown into a tank full of piranhas, but we're friendly piranhas.
It wouldn't be my first time being thrown into a tank of piranhas.
No. Let's put it this way. It's like Rudy getting assaulted and not actually being assaulted. But that's part of today's show. A lot to get into. We'll talk about Roe v. Wade. We'll talk about R. Kelly. We'll talk about the former show I used to produce, Rudy Giuliani, maybe getting assaulted. Another mistress to Tiger Woods releasing a book. What else is new? Ariana Grande and her stalkers. What else is new? Rich New Yorkers getting bladder surgery and Botox. Hey, Nick, that's right up your alley, isn't it?
Well, you know, if there's one thing I am good at, I mean, it's going to the bathroom. So, I mean...
Well, all right, TMI. O.J. Simpson, blast the LAPD. What else is new?
I did not have that one on my bingo card. So, you know what? Let's get right into it.
All right, so, excuse me, topic number 1. Roe v. Wade overturned by the Supreme Court, and the fate of the abortion laws now lie in individual states.
So, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who are living under a rock, and can I join you under that rock, if it's at all possible? I mean, I don't take up much space. I guarantee. I know it doesn't look like that on camera right now, but I don't. But so, considering what we know, so it's a 6-3 decision from the conservative majority, and we have basically just the women's rights in this country have just been set back a half a century. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's kind of been a shitty week.
Yeah, it's been a bad week, and I feel like we've affected a lot of other laws and rights that women have had. Let's just add another one to the list.
Yeah, they took away the ability to work with the EPA just this morning on the day we're recording this. So Watch out! Next week they're gonna make it legal so you can kick puppies.
Hey, don't say that. Well, Sarah, what do you think about this?
I mean, it's not what I expected in the last week. I didn't even know this was going on until it went down and I saw everything on the news.
Yeah, I mean, the way this goes and the way this law goes is like the way the whole country is handling its situations. It's basically throwing a dart against a board and saying, hey, you know what? We're going to change these laws and hope for the best. And we're not going to get protests, which we've already have.
Yeah, I like small town Colorado. I saw a protest happening. I walked right by it.
It's one of those things. And Nick, have you seen any protests yet?
I have not, but there are a lot of people posting angry Facebook memes on my Facebook page. So it's up in the air as to whether that's actually a good or bad thing. But, I can tell you something about the 45-year-old wine moms that know me somehow. They're very unhappy about this. So
wait
I
a
don't know
minute.
whether that's a step forward, backwards, or sideways.
Wait a minute. 45-year-old wine moms know who you are?
Well, they know my mother, so yeah.
Oh, okay.
What do you think? I'm going to bridge game with a pitcher full of sangria saying, who wants to get fucked up? No, I'm not doing that.
I wouldn't put that past you. But anyway, the way this story goes, it's just added to the list, like I said, of other laws that this country cannot figure out. And Nick and I have talked about this a lot when this controversy has come up, that they've threatened to change it. And remember when it leaked that they were going to change this, and now women are walking around and they're like, now
what are we going to do?
So what happens if you have an accidental pregnancy or I hate to say this, but a rape?
Yeah, I mean, those are always the examples that you're given. I mean, with ectopic pregnancies, because pregnancy really is not as glamorous or as well. It's a lot more fraught than you might think. Of course, I am not a woman, nor do I pretend to be, nor do I identify as. But I really feel like this is old white men just exercising their horrible, horrible will on all of us.
Well, let's ask the one person, since we're sitting here.
Yeah.
So, Sarah, what would you do in this situation? Like, if you ran into a situation of, say, not that we'd ever wish this on anybody.
Yeah.
But, like, wouldn't you be up in arms if, like, this situation happened to you and this law was in play?
Yeah, it would be really complicated. Depending on, like, what I would do. I mean, for one, if I had to get an abortion, I would probably have to go to a different state. But I am one of those privileged people that I have the money to travel if I need to. And I have the resources to find what I need to get what I need, really.
I mean, if you had to, of course, where would you have to go since you're in Colorado right now, where would you have to go if you needed to get one? Because
I'm actually in Texas. I got back.
Oh yeah, you're actually
the other day. So. I don't know. I haven't really done my research to know where I would need to go. I guess I'm a little too young to know what to do.
Yeah. You're. By the way, that's actually another caveat we should add. This woman is way too young to have to worry about these things, and she really shouldn't. But you know what? We're in a situation in this country where young women are going to have to start making those plans, and that's the tragedy of it.
It's not even, wait a minute, Nick. It's not even making the plans. It's having the protection in case something happens.
Yeah.
That's what people are not realizing. People think that this law is to prevent. It's not prevent, it's protection.
Yeah. It also like depends on the person and like what they're going through. It can be easy, but it's also really complicated. You never know. That's the hard part.
You're also forcing women now to make a decision that maybe they didn't want to make with this law now being in play. Like, if they didn't want to have a child, now you're kind of forcing them to
be a mother to a child that they don't want, and that's not fair to the kid.
Well, that's also like one of the number one protests that I've seen, not only in person but on social media, is uh, you shouldn't be able to make a law on what I can and can't do with my own body. And a lot of
Yeah,
people are
exactly.
saying, well, it's my body. Shouldn't I be allowed to decide for myself what's best for me and my health? Which is understandable because most people are like, can I just mind my own business?
Yeah, I mean,
It's just-
yeah, that's exactly keep your goddamn hands out of my business. And it's like,
yeah.
See, you know what's funny? Sarah, who's a lot younger than the people in the government, is way smarter than what the government is doing right now.
you should
What
run
is-
for office.
Well, I think oh, no, definitely not a political person over here.
We'd vote for you.
My point is that she's way younger than the people who are in the freaking office, and she has more common sense than the people who are in the office.
And the fact that this opinion leaked months ago, and just now the Democrats are just throwing up their hands and going, "Well, I guess you got to vote harder in November." It's like you assholes. We voted for you in order to be able to fix this, and you're just sitting there with your thumbs up your asses.
But you know how, okay, so this is kind of on topic, but not on topic. You know how people complained in high school about you not learning how to do their taxes, and that's one thing they wish they did? It's almost the same way for like having safe sex. I mean, I feel like maybe if we taught a little bit about that, or a little bit of what you can and can't do, or what you should do in certain situations, I feel like that could be another resource that can help people out, especially now that this is where we are in today's world.
Yeah, and Alex makes a wonderful point here in the chat, saying people love the idea of autonomy and personal rights when it comes to something like vaccines, but it completely goes out the window when you talk about women, because again, it's about, you don't get to tell me what to do, but I get to tell you what to do.
Mhm.
There's a disconnect there.
Which is a joke. I mean, we should all be able to decide. I mean, it's weird. Like, they let us decide if we want the vaccine, which, again,
They really shouldn't have that's something that they really should have made people do a lot more of.
Right. I mean, it is what it is. The government is going to technically decide what our laws are. That's why we live in a free country and we can decide what we want to do.
But there's a difference between between trying to govern in good faith and absolutely just just trying to control women because you feel like you owe them and they own them, and then dressing it up in a concealing it behind a veil of states' rights.
Well, all right. Let's move on. We've done enough politics, I think, for this show.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Actually, there is going to be more politics, but let's take a little break from that. We'll go to R. Kelly. Now, R. Kelly, yeah, that's all I can say, Nick.
So for our younger viewers out there, R. Kelly was an R&B artist who was everywhere in the late 90s and early 2000s. He was on the soundtrack to Space Jam, and he was made fun of by the Chappelle Show, and this was pretty much an open secret that he did these things for 20 years, maybe, and now he's gotten the book thrown at him.
He's a sick fuck. Let's just put it that way.
I wasn't gonna in the interest of
No. I don't mean it that way. I meant like sick in the head.
It's nice to finally see some accountability, though. I mean, in a week where we've seen just personal accountability from the people that we trust to run these institutions, just basically kicking us all in the ass. It's nice to actually see that justice does work in some respect.
Yeah, but we're talking about sex trafficking, Nick. He was going to get caught eventually.
Now, you've said before, Sarah, that you don't know much about R. Kelly. Am I correct?
No, but then when you said Space Jam just now, I actually do know that song. I looked it up just now. I know one thing about this person, but that's it.
You know exactly that one thing.
Yes.
So if you want to preserve that pristine image of R. Kelly that you have in your head, I recommend that you look at that and nothing else.
Let's put it this way. This has been a public trial for quite a few years now. Like, he went on with, who was it? Gayle King? on CBS, and basically had a crying shit fit during an interview. And
really, if you're innocent, that's really not something that you really want to be caught on camera doing.
It was a little bit Terrell Owens like when he cried about Donovan McNabb.
Oh, Terrell Owens wishes he could throw that kind of shit fit.
But this was such a public trial and he was such a big name in the music world.
Oh yeah, he was. If I could use a closer analogy, he had the same kind of impact in, late 90s, mid 2000s R&B that Kanye does, or Kanye did at some point. So if that can help, younger people understand the impact that this guy had.
Yeah, well, look at the two of them now.
Well, one's crazy and the other one's convicted. So
that's a good point. But my point is, apparently or allegedly, I don't know. Is it allegedly anymore? I mean, he was convicted.
No, it's not allegedly anymore. He's convicted. So yeah, you don't have to say allegedly.
So he was basically convicted. Not basically. He was convicted for underage sex,
and trafficking, and using this entire network of people who work for him. Basically, it's like something out of a Liam Neeson movie. The operation he had going here.
And they were talking about 14, 15, 16-year-old.
It's despicable stuff. It really is.
And when I saw the amount of women that he was trafficking, this was almost out of like a foreign country. It seemed like.
It boggles the mind. It's staggering how somebody was able to get away with that for as long as he did. But the fact that he was rich and powerful just enabled people to just look the other way.
Some people are saying 30 years isn't enough.
Well, I mean, the guy's in his 50s, 30 years in prison. He's going to die in prison. So
you don't know that.
He'll be out when he's 85.
Doesn't mean he's going to be dead.
So he'll be a very old man.
I mean, look at Cosby. He was in jail and he got out.
Yeah, but that was a technicality.
Which is a good point. But I think he should have gotten life in prison.
I'm not inclined to push it because God knows, that you push for life in prison. The way the justice system is kind of stacked against women, that we're lucky to even get that.
Let's put it this way. People need to stop putting emphasis, and I'm talking about younger people, on rappers. Like, oh, they're these big people, and they have money, and they have power. And
I don't think it's necessarily had to have. It's necessarily, tied that tightly to rap music. You could talk about that about any celebrity. Talk about actors and rock stars. You talk about even morning news hosts. Need I mention Matt Lauer?
Oh God, really? I cringe every time.
Need I mention Johnny Depp? I mean, you said before, Sarah, that it was like, the TikTok was full of was full of people on Johnny Depp's side.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you needed any more evidence that this country really does not like women, go no further.
Well, actually, I'll go one step further. Johnny Depp just got a $310 million deal with Disney to bring back.
I don't know. I don't know about that.
He did.
I guarantee you, he was the source of. The source was never named in that story, so it's like
I thought Disney confirmed it.
They did not. No.
I thought that's where I got it from.
Nope, it wasn't from Disney. It was from an unnamed source in the New York Post, which, for all we know, could have been Johnny Depp himself. Of course, they're going to pay me $300 million to come back and play Jack Sparrow.
I was going to say that's a lot of money,
and then they're going to elect me president.
But I was going to say $310 million to do one movie sounds like a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly, you don't spend a lot of time in reading about Hollywood.
Trust me, I know all about Hollywood. There's more about Hollywood. Or you could just do what Demi Lovato does and goes into places and say they don't have sugar-free options, and I run out and I scream. But we talked about that, Nick. Do you remember?
Oh, yeah. I remember that. That was a while ago.
That was a while ago. But speaking of odd and weird stories like Demi Lovato, let's talk about Rudy.
So, where do we begin with this one? Because there's a lot of layers to this onion.
Now, people are going to say to me, Nick, you need to recuse yourself from this story because you've worked with him, you've produced shows for him, your opinion's already sour. And I'm like, no, I don't. Since when do I have to?
Which is bull, because if anything, that makes him a character witness.
But, and I'm sure, Sarah, you saw this video of basically someone putting a hand on his back in the Super. Oh, you didn't see it?
Nope.
The guy who works at the Staten Island grocery store patted him on the back, and it's literally just a pat on the back, and said, "Hi there, scumbag," in his ear. That's it. And then he walked away.
I mean, it's accurate, but
it's accurate because he is, of course, a scumbag. But he's acting like, "Oh my God, you could have broken my spine." And he went on his radio show saying he almost died, or I thought somebody had shot me in the back.
Yeah. So he went on my former employment's radio station where he does a show. And basically made a drama. He basically was being a drama king. Because I have to be politically correct because he could go back and sue me if I called him a drama queen. But yes, he went on Curtis Sliwa's show, the guy who ran for mayor.
Yes, that beret wearing winner.
And basically said, I could have died. I could have this and that. And I was like, really?
So if that's his definition of dying, a hug from his aunt would pretty much be categorized as murder.
Essentially.
Or if you were shaking his hand, it's like punching him in the face.
They charged the guy with second-degree assault.
Which is stupid, because he just patted him on the back.
And they also
literally patted him on the back.
And they charged him with assault of a 65-year-old man.
Rudy's older than that, though, isn't he?
Well, they said of a 65 or
of 65 or above. Yeah.
That's a law? That's a charge?
You know what? You know what? It occurs to me that he might have just gone. He might have just gone in there and just. He probably did that on purpose just to get attention.
I mean, this is the same guy we're talking about that showed up at a porn shop or a pawn shop, whatever you want to call it, and that's where he was campaigning.
Oh, the Four Seasons landscaping company.
Yes,
it was right next to a crematorium and a sex shop.
Yes.
Oh God.
My point is, Rudy's BS is basically one big this.
He's getting attention though, so it works for him. But it's not like, and it's, who it's attention for? Because the apple does not fall very far from the douchebag tree. Because Andrew Giuliani just lost the New York governor's primary, the GOP primary, to Lee Zeldin. So, since you don't live in New York, Sarah, I think if I could sum up New York, local politics in one word, it would probably be this: shit show.
Oh, I was going to say.
Well, that's not one word. Shit show is one word.
I guess.
Is shit show a word or is it hyphenated?
No, it's hyphenated. I guess.
What about crazy?
Crazy. There we go.
Yeah, you could say crazy, but
actually, I'll go one step further. All out crazy or AOC, whichever one you want to insult.
I like AOC though. I mean, come on. Look, she's not. Do you really think she's as bad a politician as Rudy Giuliani or Andrew Giuliani would have been?
New York politics is fucked up. Let's just put it that way.
New York politics is fucked up, babe, because it's been fucked up for 30-something years.
I mean, the last time politics was good was when Rudy was actually mayor.
Which, if he had stayed as mayor, none of this would have happened. If he'd never become Trump's lawyer, I should say, he would have been set for life. But no!
The problem is Trump would need the infinity of lawyers, and he still would not win.
Well, of course, because all he can attract is the ambulance chases.
Right. My point is that Rudy is the circus of all circuses, and his son was running for what? Was running for governor?
Yeah.
And
well, then again, Sarah, I mean, Greg Abbott's the governor of Texas, isn't he?
Oh God, that's.
Oh my God.
I mean, that's the guy who was trying to sign the COVID vaccine out of Texas. But
yep.
I don't know. I don't. I feel like we're getting too political heavy in this episode.
At least it ain't Ron DeSantis. See, this is why we don't do a political podcast.
God, can you imagine if we had a left Oh God, I almost revealed an idea that they did on my former station. I'm not going to say that. Anyway.
No, now you got to say it.
I was going to say a left versus right. They used to have a show called Left versus Right, but which is BS because they don't know how to do the left. What is that old song called? To the left, to the left. Whatever that song was called. I'm trying to look. I'm looking that up.
Beyonce, was it?
It was Beyonce. You're right. Wow. Impressive.
Yeah.
Impressive. Way to go.
The old geezer actually pulled one out.
Way to go.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to go to the retirement home now.
Are you? Okay. Go enjoy that blue plate special. But my point is...
Goddamn kids on my lawn.
Well, that's where Rudy's heading at this point, the retirement home.
Moving on.
I don't know. I feel like these Rudy stories keep finding me.
It's the self-opening pinata. It's the gift that keeps on giving.
But
stop doing dumb shit, and then we'll stop talking about it. It's simple calculus.
Well, speaking of dumb shit, Tiger Woods.
So explain this shit to me. What is it that she's saying in this book?
There's not really much to say. It's another mistress coming out and writing a book to make money off his name.
So context is necessary for those of you who don't know. At around like 2008, 2009, or 2009.
2009.
Tiger Woods gets into a whole bunch of trouble and divorces his wife because he is accused and actually admits to having multiple affairs.
Multiple? You're being nice.
He pretty much was having a very busy season. But so Rachel Uchitel is one of his most well-known mistresses, quote unquote. So now she comes out with a book.
Are you surprised?
No.
Okay, good.
Everybody always does, right?
Well, hey, she's got to make a buck somehow.
I don't know if I would. See, I don't know how I feel about this one.
What is there to feel about? She's making money.
She's making money, but see, I don't know if it's entirely like, because everybody always just thought of her as like Tiger Woods' side piece, and that's probably not that.
Well, according to page 6, Uchitel is being represented by a top book agent for this book.
Of course.
So she's not doing this empty-handed.
She's not doing it empty-handed, but you know what? Considering the horrible things that people do for money in this world,
apparently
writing a tell-all is not that terrible.
Wait a minute. Apparently, this is not the first affair she's had with a big name either.
Pardon?
This is not the first time she's had an affair with a big name.
I did not know that.
It says that it also includes her affair with former Bone star David Boreanaz.
Like
yeah. So that's apparently in there too.
Wow. Okay, I didn't know that.
I mean, Tiger Woods is a great golfer. Don't get me wrong. He's going to be one of the all-time golfers.
Okay, but I'll ask the question. I'll ask the question to Sarah again. How much did you know about Tiger Woods and his little infidelities?
Didn't know it at all.
See, this is good.
This is good because we can educate, we can inform, and we can also pretty much just fill her head with nonsense. So yeah.
But this is great. I mean, I remember when Tiger Woods was at the top of his game, making $100 million a year. He had Nike, he had Gillette, he had. I mean, you could go on and on. He had lists of sponsors out there. Gatorade. He had one of the watch companies. He had one of the Swiss watch companies, I think, also.
I'm at a point though. I mean, at a certain point, it's like, whether you had an affair or not, it's really not any of the public's business.
Right.
Am I wrong? Am I wrong in thinking that, people should care less if a celebrity has an affair?
I mean, when you're as big a name as Tiger Woods, eventually it's going to be found out.
You know what? Let me ask this question: who's your favorite celebrity?
Oh, I don't have a favorite celebrity. I don't function in that world as a favorite celebrity.
Somebody, a public figure that you really like and look up to.
Oh God, you're putting me on the spot. I don't.
No, this is an open question for both of you.
I have no idea. That's what I'm trying to think of an answer too, but I can't even think of one.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Maybe Derek Jeter.
And if it came out that Derek Jeter was cheating on somebody,
Derek Jeter had a long history of dating celebrity big names.
But is it? But if you think about it, is it really your business?
No, of course not. But when you're a public figure, everything is fair game.
Everything is, but is it though? Is it?
If the media reports it, then it's fair game.
Now who's sounding like the journalist?
No, I'm just saying, though, if it's reported and it's in the public limelight, then it's fair game.
Yes, I understand that.
First of all, I agree. I know what point you're getting at. If they're sneaking around.
No, that's not the point I'm making. The point I'm making is people are so upset and so heartbroken when the people they look up to turn out to be scumbags, and they really shouldn't.
I think Tiger Woods was having a secret life even before we knew it. I guarantee you he probably was.
So if there was somebody that you did Sarah, if there was somebody that you looked up to, like a celebrity that you were really a fan of, and they turned out to be like a secret racist, or they
had affairs,
they cheated, or they had multiple affairs, would that cause you to think, to be upset?
I mean, I really don't know. If it's something similar to like media going after the Rebel Wilson and her coming out, then I would be upset for her, because that shouldn't be anyone's business. Like the way it happened, it should have been her to decide that. But
yeah, but you would get upset on her behalf.
Well, yeah. I'll give you a different example. Maybe this will hit home better. Say it was a family member who was having secret affairs, and this is to everybody, and you had no idea, and then all of a sudden you find out all of this situation. You would be mad at that point, right? That you had no idea what was going on.
Well, hell yeah, of course, because a celebrity is one thing, but a family member is. I mean, that's not a parasocial relationship. That's a close relationship.
But but you were talking about Nick in general, like someone that you could either look up to or in that regard.
My thing is, do people really need to look up to celebrities though, or should they?
No, first of all, celebrity was created many years ago because we didn't have trending or social media to look up to. Celebrities are people that are factitious, is really the word I would use. Fictitious, excuse me. That it's just a made-up term to fit higher class people into.
See, you're right, but they're as right as you are. There are so many people, even people that are Sarah's age and younger, that disagree. It's like I don't know that much about it, but like stan culture, where you're like obsessed with people, and it's like I don't get. I understand the feeling, but I don't understand why you would want to do that to yourself when they inevitably let you down.
The problem is social media has caused people, younger age people, to follow celebrities when some people are not even celebrities. Are now people on TikTok. They're considering them celebrities. Okay. Those are not real celebrities. Celebrities used to be a term of people who had talent to do something.
Okay. Not necessarily, though.
No, but that's my point. Now people on TikTok and Instagram, people who are dancing and twerking are now being considered celebrities. Way
to date yourself there.
Okay, my point is people who are just doing random dances are now being considered celebrities. Those aren't celebrities. They're social media people.
I mean, in the strictest sense of the word, do you consider them celebrities, like Sarah?
Not really. I consider them more influencers than celebrities. I think influencers is the right term.
So what's the line? When does a celebrity refuse to cease to become a celebrity and then crosses the line to influencer?
Well, no, influencer is different than celebrity. Influencer is someone who's directly on social media, and that's where they are.
Yeah.
A celebrity is someone who has more reach than just social media. They do movies, they do radio, they do other digital properties. If you're just on social media, you're an influencer. You're getting people to be on social media.
But don't celebrities also influence people? I'm just playing devil's advocate here.
But influencers, all they can do is have a following on social media. They don't have any other way to attract people outside of it.
Famous
I feel like
being
celebrities
famous.
could be influencers at the same time. I can't think of anyone on the top of my head.
The Kardashians?
Oh,
yeah,
that's a good one.
like they could be a mix of both. But like other people like Taylor Swift or Ariana Grande, I feel like they're just celebrities. I don't think they're not the kind of people that I know of that do a lot of social media to promote things very much.
I mean,
like causes, or you like selling something?
Both.
Well, she's basically saying that like they have big followings on social media.
No, you're right. You're completely right. It makes sense.
But you don't see them going on social media every day and saying, I did this today, like a lot of influencers do. Like,
or
if you
talking about like their skincare routine or something.
Yeah.
I was going to say,
it really is that inconsequential. Seriously, that's
yes, it is. And
yeah.
if you go on Kim Kardashian's social media every day, she's going to tell you what bikini she's wearing, what skin fragrance or whatever she's using, and what outfit she's wearing.
A lot of influencers will tag those companies in their description of whatever photo or video they posted, so people have an easier way to navigate and be like, oh, okay, I want to buy that swimsuit, I want to buy that makeup set. They can just
even though it's probably prohibitively expensive for most of the people following her. Yeah.
Well,
yeah, it's like $3,000 bikini. Nobody's gonna be who's gonna wear that?
The point is that the Kardashians are always out to make a sale. That's why they kind of bridge that gap between influencer and social media.
But if you're a celebrity, aren't you also selling something? If you're a celebrity, if you're an actor, you're selling the fact that you're in movies. If you're a celebrity and you're a musician, you're selling your music.
Right, but that's what we are.
Thing now because of all the different streaming services. They may get more money if it's on a certain streaming service besides just going straight to the theater.
Right. And
yeah,
if you see what the Kardashians do, they're constantly tagging a company because that's what they're sponsored for. That's what they're selling.
That's what they get paid to do.
They're not out there doing it for their health. You think they're posting those pictures of doing that for their health? No.
Well, no, you're right.
For
certain things, but
certain things.
All right, let's move on. And actually, Sarah brought up Ariana Grande, so we'll go there. So Ariana Grande's stalker violates restraining order by breaking into her home on her birthday. Now, we've seen
this is the other thing though, where this is a part of celebrity and that influencers don't really have to deal with or as much.
Right. I mean, we've seen stalkers before. This is not the first or the last one we're going to see. Taylor Swift has had some massive stalkers break into her house. Ariana's had stalkers. This is just another typical break-in, I would think, right?
And thank God she wasn't home at the time. I mean, like I've said before, I mean, sometimes you question the need to have the big burly, like 6'7", security guys, to guard you. But now in situations like this, and he had a huge hunting knife on him, right?
I'm looking at the picture right now. It was a husky hunting knife.
And not the dog, the hunting knife.
No, the real hunting knife.
I actually looking at the picture of it, I actually have one, right? I actually have one in one of my drawers upstairs for cutting things, not people.
I was gonna say,
for cutting things, not people. I'm not a psychopath. Don't get the wrong idea.
But he's quoted as saying to her security, "I'll effing kill you and her."
Okay, so it's pretty obvious that this man was dealing with some serious mental health issues.
But this is not the first time. We've seen psychopaths. First of all, how are they finding where they live?
Well, you could do. It's not publicly listed, right? A celebrity's like
I don't
home
think
address.
I think most celebrity properties are privately listed.
I mean, they at least try to make it privately listed just for their safety, but
Unless
But
they
if you do, yeah, if you're determined enough, you can Google anything.
no, but if these stalkers are living in LA, I guess they're fine. They're just
Yeah,
that's
and in a
all-
lot of cases, she's dealt with this specific guy before, if I'm not mistaken, right?
what did you say?
I think
She's
so.
yeah, she's dealt with this guy before, right?
Oh yeah, it's a stalker.
Because it looks like this isn't the first time he's been to her house.
I don't know how he got into the house. That's what I want to know.
But this brings up another question, though. I mean, it's part of fame, but you ask people whether they would rather be famous or wealthy, they would take the wealth over the fame
Well,
because nobody wants fame without wealth.
duh, of course you want to be wealthy over famous. If you don't want people, you don't need millions of people knowing who you are and they could possibly come after you.
And this doesn't happen because Ariana Grande is wealthy. It happens because she's famous. This ties into what we were talking about with celebrities versus influencers. I mean, in terms of influencers,
Well, wait a
you're
minute.
getting nasty, horrible DMs on Instagram, but nobody's showing up at your house threatening to kill you. Hopefully.
I would disagree with you. Influencers get stalker attempts all the time. It all depends on your following.
Do they? I'm genuinely asking because I'm not. Yeah,
they do.
I think it depends. There's one person on YouTube that I follow a lot of his videos, but he talks very much about video games. And he talked about a time where he received a random package, not to his P.O. box, but to his house because they wanted him to review they wanted him to review their stuff that bad. And they wanted, I guess, to promote their business. I can't remember what it is, but he was like, why did you have to go and try and find my address? Why couldn't you just send it to my P.O. box like it is on my channel?
That is kind of creepy, actually.
Which one was that? Because I think I recall hearing something like that.
What's his name?
Yeah, the name of the influencer.
Oh gosh, what's his name?
Well,
while you're asking me, I can't remember his name.
Well, while you're looking that up, I could.
But it happened. It happened a lot with the female co-hosts at G4. It's happened to streamers like Alana Pierce a couple of times. As far as I know.
I mean, I could tell you a weird story. I mean,
it's happened to a lot of the male, gaming influencers on YouTube as well.
Yeah, his YouTube name is Beat 'em Ups.
Oh yeah, I know him.
Yeah,
but
yeah, he works a lot with Matt McMuscles. So yeah.
But I could tell you a weird story, and this happened to me a few years ago when I first started working that job at the radio station. We had someone send an envelope. Now, if you know where I'm going with this, Nick.
For those of you it's the anthrax thing, isn't it?
It was not anthrax.
It was meant to be what, like a bomb?
It was ricin.
Oh, it was actual ricin?
So, first of all, we don't open anything. We've learned if you work at a political station like I did, you don't open anything that's sent through the mail at all.
Yeah. On the off chance something actually does blow up.
Well, you do know what ricin does, right?
Yeah. Yes, it's poison.
So as soon as you open that up, you're out. And I mean, like it's not dead. You'll be passed out.
You will get sick and die eventually. I've seen Breaking Bad. I know what ricin does.
We actually had to send it off to be checked out. That's how bad it got.
Wow.
And we found out that there was it wasn't full ricin, but there was a trace in there.
And that is enough to make you want to become a hermit. I mean, I can imagine Ariana Grande just sits like, what the do I have to do to get some goddamn privacy around here?
Well,
it's like even the people who say they love me are trying to kill me.
Nick, when you're a celebrity, you sign up for the publicity.
She didn't sign up for that.
No, I didn't.
Disagree.
I didn't say this. This is obviously wrong. But you signed up as a celebrity to deal with the public.
Look, she's somebody who became a celebrity when she was 14.
Well, she started on that Nickelodeon show.
Yeah, she started on Victorious. So
Yeah, she started on Victorious. She was even doing TV commercials when she was a kid. But you sign up for this when you become
when
big.
you're that age, you're not thinking about these things.
What I do agree, first of all, that's why there's security. That's why there's police. They showed up and they dealt with it. But the other things, like dealing with fans, that's what you sign up for with becoming famous.
See, this goes to my point, though. If you, knowing the consequences of it, fully being aware of the consequences and the bad things that can come with it, would people sign up for it?
No, obviously not. But when you're a celebrity,
like if you actually put that in like contract writing, where you could be rich and famous, but every other week somebody break into your house with a gun and threaten to kill you, even if you're not home.
If you put it that way, then obviously not.
People wouldn't take that deal, right?
Nick, if you're going to make it so obvious,
how many seconds would it take for you to crumple that thing up and throw it in the garbage?
Nick, if you're going to make it so obvious to that point that you could tell me right up front that's going to happen.
Yeah, but these are the things that you have to be obvious about these things because they do happen.
Well, why do you think that these celebrities walk around with 7-foot bodyguards?
That's the other thing.
So, and these fans, like, they're like, oh my God, this 7-foot bodyguard attacked me. Well, why do you think they did it? Because they're protecting the person.
And paparazzi have gotten more aggressive about it. So you're just protecting yourself at this point.
And by the way, this whole thing that paparazzi feels that they can do what they want, they can go on a beach and start taking pictures of people and doing all this stuff, that's BS.
No, that's an invasion of privacy.
Yeah, but they're going to say, well, you can't, you're invading my rights as a journalist.
Yeah.
Which
is bullshit because you can't do that.
First of all, paparazzi are not journalists. Let's get that straight.
They're not. They're vultures. Believe me. So somebody who was trained and knows the ins and outs of what is and is not ethical in journalism. I can tell you firsthand. Don't trust paparazzi when they tell you they're journalists.
By the way, if you have to sneak
they're just assholes with cameras trying to sell what they take pictures of.
If you have to sneak into celebrity properties and you have to sneak into like private beach areas to take pictures of people, that's a scumbag move.
Yeah, I mean, especially if you're I don't know why you'd sunbathe in the nude, but you gotta watch out for some pervert with a telephoto lens.
Well, first of all, anyone with an iPhone can take a picture of you today.
Yeah. No, that's a good point.
So that's not saying anything new. I mean, I don't know. Shit. I mean, I don't care how much money. You couldn't pay me any money in the world to do anything publicly.
Which is my original point. They would take the money and not the fame that goes with it.
And that's
financial security is a lot more attractive to a lot more people than being famous is.
Well, yeah, go ask an athlete.
But they are intertwined, though. You sometimes can't get one without the other. That's my point. Moving on.
Well, I'll ask Sarah the last question. Would you take the fame or would you take the safety in this situation?
Safety.
Yeah.
Safety.
Yeah, I would take the safety. All right.
If you could live on a huge farm and have more huskies?
I'm good with one husky right now. Maybe I'll take a golden retriever or something different.
That's a good point.
Dogs, it's like you're running a kennel.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on.
Golden retrievers are great dogs, by the way.
Yeah, they are.
Had one growing up.
But speaking of, let's talk about something that Nick needs.
Lifestyles of the rich and incontinent.
Yeah, this story, I just said, you know what? Let's get under Nick's skin. No pun intended.
And I've said this before, and I never told you guys this, but I actually went out to a job interview with in Southampton a couple of years ago. It was an internship, and they weren't paying me dick. So
yeah,
ladies and gentlemen, it's disgusting the amount of opulence that you see there. It's like This one's got a Lamborghini. This guy's 80 years old and he's got a 25-year-old wife.
Wait, what does that have to do with bladder surgery and Botox?
So, which brings me to this point. There is this story of rich New Yorkers, and we're talking, people who own multiple houses in the Hamptons, not wanting to stay in traffic and not want to have to pull over and use a gas station to go to the bathroom like the rest of us plebeians do. Getting bladder surgery, actually decreasing the size of their bladder surgically, and using Botox to avoid having to go to the bathroom.
Oh,
Tell me that's not a crime against nature.
That sounds horrible. Oh,
it's like, why would you want to do that to yourself? If you're decreasing the size of your bladder, then that means you can hold less urine, so you're going to have to go more.
Well, is this them trying to close up their bladders? Is that what they're trying to do?
I mean, I think so. And speaking for somebody whose mother had that kind of surgery, needed it. I mean, it's kind of insulting.
It says here a New York City urologist has seen more patients requesting a procedure that eases the urge to pee. The New York City's wealthiest are hoping to eliminate the need to go during the long drive to their summer homes. Some are getting bladder Botox to avoid conflict over Hamptons bladder. That's what they're calling it. Now there's a name for it.
So, for those of you who don't know, Botox is actually a muscle relaxant. And if you're injecting it into your bladder, you're not going to be able to hold it in. So, it's kind of counterintuitive.
Excuse me. Yeah, I would not feel comfortable holding this for a whole ride.
No, it's look. Take it from somebody who only. This might be a little bit too much information. But
Yeah.
I never used to use public bathrooms.
Oh well, I didn't like public bathrooms.
I never used to use public bathrooms. I still don't if I'm driving anywhere or if I'm being driven anywhere.
I don't know, Sarah. What do you?
Look, I need a level of cleanliness in my bathroom. And gas stations just cannot provide that.
Sarah, what do you think about public bathrooms?
I mean, I like to road trip a lot, so I don't really think about it, but I tend to go for here in Texas, we have Buc-ee's, and I feel like the Buc-ee's ones are very much cleaned and updated as much as possible, so I just try to go wherever I can find the most updated one, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, Buc-ee's is like the southern version of Wawa.
Oh, I didn't even know that. Okay.
Yeah, they also sell like the peanut candy, I think it is.
What?
What is it? Buc-ee's sells like peanut candy that everybody goes crazy for?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know.
Way to go, Nick. Winner.
Way to derail the conversation, me. Thank you.
I should know the answer to that question, but I really don't.
Wait, you don't eat when you're road tripping anywhere?
Oh, come on.
Not at Buc-ee's.
Not at Buc-ee's, no.
I'll get a snack or some water or Gatorade, but not.
You can't go what? So you can't tell me you've never road tripped anywhere and eating a giant bag of combos?
Oh, come on.
Everybody loves combos. Come on.
I used to like combos. I don't really like them anymore. Which one?
What do you mean, which one?
There's different types, isn't there?
There's different types, but the pretzel ones, because the cracker ones are kind of dry.
Do they make like a pizza combos?
Yeah.
Those are not bad.
Yep.
But yeah, please tell me neither of you would get this surgery, because I would not either.
Mm-mm. I wouldn't want to spend my money on something I don't need to be spending it on.
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
Look,
surgery or a procedure, in general.
Yeah, I need to stay away from getting surgery as much as possible because of the multiple surgeries I've had already, and I can't imagine doing that to my bladder.
I mean, let's think about this for a second. There's a certain someone in this business who's made a lot of money off of, I don't know if it's surgery, but Kylie Cosmetics with her lips.
Yeah, but she's not actually also doing a colonoscopy. It's just superficial stuff, not it.
But I don't know. It's just one of those.
It's just superficial stuff, not the she's not actually going there and changing all the piping, I should say.
Yeah, but do you really want to get make your lips bigger? Is that a thing?
I mean, some women
I feel
do.
like it was a thing for a while. It was a trend. Or something.
It's a
Yeah,
billion. It's $1 billion business for her now.
the collagen fillers or something like that, right?
Maybe.
We were talking about butt lifts just a couple of weeks ago.
Well, no, that was the officer or the sergeant.
Yeah, that had died because of an illegal butt lift.
in the Dominican Republic. Yes.
And imagine having a bladder surgery go wrong just because you don't want to stop over a gas station to have to pee.
They're rich people, Nick. They don't stop for anything.
But you know what? That's not even the solution that could solve the problem. The solution that solves the problem is a toilet car.
But wait, but rich people don't think. They think with their money, not their head.
You would think somebody would be smart enough to invent the toilet car.
I mean, or
seriously, getting bladder surgery really that doesn't fix the problem.
Or what was that old thing back in the day? Someone said toilet in a briefcase.
Yeah, toilet in a briefcase.
That was a thing.
Yeah,
it was. Well, it didn't really go anywhere, but they were talking.
It didn't go anywhere because that would really make the trips to JFK a lot more uncomfortable than they actually are. Than they are.
First of all, it doesn't sound very logical to begin with. Anyway,
you go through a security checkpoint at JFK. It's like you put a bunch of briefcases on and you're basically just playing Russian roulette. Okay, which one is filled with shit?
Ew. Just be careful; they might mistake it for a drug, like they did with Brittany Griner in Russia.
Well, technically, you can make a bomb out of fertilizer. So,
oh god, that's all right. I'm moving on from this. Last story. O.J. Simpson blasts the LAPD. Did you have that one on the bingo card, Nick?
No, but criminals for law enforcement is definitely something I really did not think that O.J. Simpson would ever come out in favor of.
So O.J. Simpson basically said, "Forget my trial. L.A. needs cops."
See, this is what I was talking about before the pitfalls and perils of social media. He's going to end up getting low on followers and saying, "You know what? I did kill those people. And what are you going to do about it?"
Well, he did write the book on if he had done it, this is how he would have done it.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
What was the name of that book again? I'm looking that up.
If I did it.
If I did it, this is how I would have buried the bodies or whatever.
Yeah. But then again, I mean, the LAPD does have problems, so they do have a lot of problems.
Didn't Family Guy do like a joke on that as well? Like that Peter and the family went to LA and basically it's all for like Hollywood theater as getting beat up by the LAPD.
Yeah. People have been making jokes about that since the 90s.
Oh,
NWA made an entire album out of that.
Isn't it true they also brought back Cops on Fox Nation or whatever? They brought back that
Fox
show.
Nation?
Yeah, it's not on TV anymore. They brought it to Fox Nation.
Oh, of course.
So now if you want to watch stupid things from the cops, you got to pay for it.
So if you want to watch Cops, you don't have to just sit outside on your porch anymore.
No. And they're actually bringing back Live PD, which actually was more truthful than what Cops was.
But again, I mean, O.J. Simpson being the one to simp for law enforcement? O.J. Simpson? I mean, seriously, does that man have no Well, of course he doesn't have any social self-awareness because he's still looking for the real killers, don't you see?
Well, he's playing fantasy football now. Did you know?
All right, Sarah, let me explain this. So O.J. Simpson killed a bunch of people in the 90s, and he was also a running back for the Buffalo Bills. So,
well, I'm sure she knows of O.J. Simpson. Do you?
Yeah, you know of him, right?
Oh, what?
Not at all?
Have you heard the name?
You never even heard the name?
Probably not.
Wow.
So when we just put it out on the lower 30, so today is the first time you'd heard the name O.J. Simpson.
Oh, O.J. Simpson? I mean, I've heard of his name. I don't really know that much about him. I just never really paid attention.
Good for you. Good for you. Thank God your generation doesn't have to deal with it.
Because I had to deal with it in a media law class where we basically dissected this whole case and how certain things were done incorrectly, and how they put gloves. They used the evidence gloves that apparently he put on, and like that was a whole thing. But
Rhyming classes because Johnny Cochran did that all the time.
right, so let's put it this way: O.J. Simpson should just go away and disappear.
It's the worst of '90s culture meeting the worst of 2010s culture, and they're just colliding. They're colliding like an oncoming train.
Right. So it is what it is, and OJ will eventually make himself disappear when people don't want to deal with him anymore.
Maybe when he's tired of getting attention.
Well, I don't know. I'm looking it up now on social media quickly just because I want to see what his following is. And he's been blocking people. He's been blocking people, by the way, on Twitter also.
Because everybody who replies to him is basically said, hey, you killed 2 people and got away with it.
Here it is. He's not even verified, which is interesting, by the way. But he's got 892,000 followers on Twitter.
You know what? I don't even want to look that up because I don't know. I don't want to see how many mutuals I have that follow him. I don't want the answer to that question.
I don't know. It is what it is. But I think that'll do it for episode 36 of Beyond the Bench. I think we've had enough fun for today. But for Nick Fodera, I'm Nick Morgasen, and our intern, Sarah Luster, as well. Sarah, do you want people to know where you are on social media so they can find you?
Well, the only social media I really have is Instagram, but it's on private.
Oh, is it?
You know what? Yeah, that's better off.
Yeah, well...
Yeah, yes, please, keep her away from the ravening hordes.
You know, at least from our show, at least.
Yeah, please.
But this was good. We had fun.
Yeah,
And
we did have fun.
We'll try to get you a little more involved with some other topics and other future shows, and maybe a video game show we're talking about down the line.
Yeah, like I said, but you guys have done a fantastic job. We're so proud of the work that you've done, and we're just so
there's more to come.
Yeah,
there's more to come. So
yeah,
that'll do it. We'll hopefully I'm feeling better.
Yeah,
it's been a long week. I've had the flu.
Way late with the flu, by the way. So he had to come off the bench like Jordan in the '98 finals and drain a couple of threes from behind the line.
Well, unlike LeBron, I actually hit the threes. But
that question is sponsored by Knack Bags, by the way. So make sure you go to knackbags.com to get your Knack sling bag. You can reserve it, and they will deliver to you free shipping. Because you know what? What kind of bag life is it?
It's a one bag life,
and everybody loves that.
So for all of us here, we'll see you next week for episode 37. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody. See you back on the bench.
Okay.